So, Mr. Jason Stuck, man, thank you for jumping on here with me. We've had the pleasure of working together for a couple of years now, but we've known each other a little bit longer than that. All the while, like since the day I met you, you've been a teacher. So, share with everyone what you do specifically in the education side of your life.
Yeah, so I've been teaching 15 years. This is my 15th year teaching. Started coaching varsity baseball, teaching at Diamond Bar High School. And then now I'm at a middle school in the Roland district. But yeah, I teach PE, so I'm outside all day playing games, teaching the kids, physical fitness and healthy lifestyles and stuff like that. But I love teaching, so it's my main priority. My goal is to
Mhm.
help those kids out, help them understand the importance of lifelong fitness. So I know that sounds cliche, but that really is what I what I enjoy doing. So
Well, and we get to work together because, in addition to your full-time career, you're a rock star real estate agent. And I know that you are a very humble person. You go, well, there's a lot to go, and I get that. But man, you do business, especially as someone who has a full-time focus on a different career. And we're gonna get to that. But let's talk a little bit about this because I'm always interested to know. So you teach physical education, you are a coach. What led you to that career?
I think my mentor, well, he was my varsity baseball coach in high school.
Hmm.
PE teacher, baseball coach, family man. Also had some side things he did. Not really businesses, but just in the community, helping
Hmm.
people out. A resource for a lot of us students to talk to and learn from. So he was kind of a person where I was like, dang, that's a career I would like to jump into. It gives you a ton of time with your family. You have a lot of days off, but you can also be a person that is a face of the community, someone people look up to and things like that. My dad as well was always involved coaching, worked a full-time job, but always made that time to do something extra, help coaching, youth programs, travel programs, and things like that. So I think from a young age, playing sports, being involved in that, I always wanted to do something to give back and reach out beyond coaching. So teaching was like the perfect fit. So
And you're a very well accomplished baseball player in your time.
I I did okay. I reached my limit in the college level, but it was I enjoyed every minute of it and don't take anything for granted for being given the opportunities I was given to play. So
And a darn good golfer. You certainly embarrass me when we get out there.
oh,
But I love how patient you are, which is fun.
that frustrating game.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you've been an athlete your whole life. I think it's really awesome that you had great mentors, including your dad, that showed you the value in having an impact on other people's lives. Clearly, they did that for you, and I think that's awesome. You're also a father, a really great husband. I know that you love to spend time with your family, and that's where like your passion is as far as like where you want to be the most. And yet, you do real estate in addition to all of those things. How do you find the time?
Man, it's prioritizing what is a need at the time. Obviously faith first, family always is on top, and then it just kind of funnels out, I guess. But just prioritizing what needs to be done in certain times of the year and actually day to day, really. I mean, it's scheduling and planning and daily goals and but making time for all of it is the key, but prioritizing what you need to prioritize. And it
Sure.
fluctuates day to day, I mean, some days I go to work and I'm a P teacher that day, and then I come home and I'm a dad. And then some days it involves all of it,
Mhm.
coaching, teaching to coaching, and then real estate at night, and then cooking dinner, doing lunches, what a lot of parents do. And, but sometimes it's, oh, I got to wake up at 4. I got to get some real estate work done before work. Then I got to go to work. Then I got to go show houses after work. Then I got
Yeah.
to make it to soccer practice by 7. Some days are crazy, but it it took me a while to learn how to schedule and prioritize, but it's getting a lot easier now.
That's awesome. And clearly, your family knows what your focuses are. We can't do it unless our family not only supports us,
Right.
but has a buy-in for us doing these things. And I know that
100%.
your wife and your family are
Yeah.
definitely like, on your team to see
Right.
you accomplish these goals. It's pretty fair to say, though, before starting real estate, your family, your career, you were already pretty busy. What got you into doing real estate in addition to all that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We were busy. We were coaching, teaching. My wife's a teacher as well, and all my kids are involved in sports. So we're, the typical Monday to Saturday family coaching, going to practices, things like that. Um, Getting into real estate, when I was purchasing my first home, my agent became a buddy, of course. We created that relationship, and I was like, dang, I think I can do what he does. Like show some houses. I enjoyed the process of looking for homes and digging deeper into them, seeing, what was going on. And I saw what he did, and I told my wife, I said, that might be something I can do in the summer, sell a house so I don't have to do baseball camps all summer. I can just sell one house or so I got into it just as supplemental income, really.
Okay.
Uh, my first year, I ended up selling, I think, 3 or 4 houses. And my wife was like, "Oh, really? What?" A little bit of extra money, took a vacation, so and then second year I just grew a little more. And as it progressed, just continued to grow and sell more houses and help more people out and really fell in love with the business. I mean,
Nice.
I did. It's a passion of mine. I love doing it, and I hate to say it, but I love the peaks and the valleys.
All right. Yeah. Oh,
Makes
don't
you
worry. There's
grow.
plenty of those.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So it was another agent that you did a transaction with that kind of inspired you to
Right.
figure out if that was the right role for you. How many years have you been selling real estate now?
This will be year 8.
Year 8. Wow. Goes
Yes.
quick, doesn't it?
It flew by.
Yep. And you've been really productive really since day one or year one,
Yeah.
let's call it.
Year 1. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to say things fell into my lap, but the minute I got my license, I made it a point to go out and let people know I became a realtor, and I was willing to help them, whether it was just through answering questions, having conversations, or helping them purchase or, sell their homes. So, um, my own different type of marketing or style of marketing, but just I'm not I'm not afraid to let people know, hey, I'm a realtor. Oh, I thought you were a teacher. I am a teacher. I'm also a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a coach. I'm a realtor. I mean, I do it all. And then the question is, how do you have time? And then
Yeah.
we get into that conversation, and wow, that's awesome. So I I'm not bragging by any means, but it's just conversations.
Well, so this is really good because if anyone else is watching on here that, is thinking about starting the real estate business and they have their own full-time focus, or they're in a career that they're transitioning into real estate, or they want to continue to do both, there was a lot of nuggets you just dropped. Number one, like you didn't have that fear to go and tell everyone what you did,
Right.
as far as the real estate game. Did you have any fears about doing that? Because I think a lot of people are stuck. They're like, well, they don't, I'm not full time, or I just started, I don't know enough. How did you
Right.
just go out there and just do it
I,
anyway?
I I think learn by failing, I guess, fell forward. Have those conversations, and my go-to is always, if I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you. You
Okay.
know, we'll have a conversation today. If I don't have those answers, that you're looking for, let me call my partners, my team, and I'll get you those answers by this evening. So it is intimidating in the beginning, especially when you're new. I'm not gonna say it isn't, but you kind of got to get out of your comfort zone and just start doing it.
Another really important tip that you nailed is, and this is where it goes far beyond real estate, far beyond transactions, and it's probably who you've been your whole life, but you have really solid relationships. You know how to build them, you know how to maintain them. And likely that's been when you say things fell in your lap, I always hear that as you're a really good person. And I know you, you're a great guy. You're a good father, a good husband. You're a guy's guy, like People like to hang out with you and have a beer
Yeah.
with you. You'll smash people on the golf course, but you're you're still very kind and are willing to deal with their shanks. You're,
Hey,
you're you're just a quality human being, and I
we
think
all do
that
it.
that goes a really long way in a lot of
Yeah,
these.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so be it now that you're in real estate and that's who you are, what are some things that you did to really emphasize or triple down on your relationships?
I think, like I said, having those conversations with people is my number one thing. And what helps, I don't know if people get it, but real estate is hard. It's a hard business. It's not easy to go out and sell a house or get a client, one client. Some people struggle with doing that. And with having the dual careers, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of me because I have a steady income.
Okay,
I have
interesting.
I have that income where I'm like, okay, I might not sell a house for a month or two, but I still have, that income coming in. So it kind of it takes that pressure off, and I think it makes those conversations easier and not as forceful. I'm not pushing, oh, I need this client this month. I absolutely have to get this deal. It's, hey, let's create this relationship. I've had relationships for 2 or 3 years, and then finally, oh, hey, we need to sell our house. Hey,
Hmm.
Jason, how's it going? You know, where some agents are like, hey, you got to list your house this month, no matter what. We got to get it listed. So I think being a dual career agent, that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not in a hurry. I'm on your time schedule. When you're ready and your family's ready, or you as a person are ready to make that real estate move, I'm here to help.
So
So I
that
think
alone
that,
has been a differentiator for you.
yeah, that's my
Whereas,
main thing. Definitely.
yeah,
That's it.
that's great because I mean, there's a lot of agents who don't know how to, they don't know when they cross that line of
Hmm.
how do I, because every agent wants to be the best and add the most value to their client, right? That's true for me, for you, for
Yeah.
everybody. But sometimes their agendas get a little convoluted, and before you know it, they're no longer really interested in what's best for their client. They're interested in what's best for their bottom line or their bank account or their
Right.
bills. And I, that happens quite often in this industry. And because you don't have to have that worry or concern, you really lean on that and emphasize that, it sounds like. Do you know if you've had clients that have had a different experience with you for that reason?
I do hear that a lot, how I'm really laid back. I mean, I I wear basketball shorts and a t-shirt for work every day. So like putting this polo on is dressing up to me. So I show up to, listing appointments or meeting people just to talk about things. And I'll show up in shorts and a polo. I know it's, might not be the most professional attire, but people have often said, I appreciate that because it takes that stress level of our business, our biggest decision of our life. And it kind of, it eases their, hey, this guy's really relaxed. It doesn't look like he's forceful, he's just having a conversation with us. It's see where it goes from there. So I try and be a pillar of comfort, I guess. But sometimes, it people have also said, are how do you do it doing both? How do you have time? And I said, I actually have more time for my real estate clients because I don't take on 20, 30 clients at once or 10 clients at once. If I have you as a client, you're my main focus. If I have multiple clients, it's the same thing. I don't think I've ever had two or three clients in one week where I was like, oh, how do I do all this? Being dual career, it kind of alleviates that stress, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it sounds to me like you know who you are. You're going to be true to you, and that the people who value what you value really flock to you. And I'm sure there are others that maybe you walked out afterwards and they go, well, I really value someone in a suit. You're not going to work with that. And even if you did work with that person, I don't know how great it would go because that's just
Right.
not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been told that, I mean, before I've been turned down, just like I've been told no multiple times. It's not like, but and that were some of the things, you're not in the business every day. You're not day to day. You're not showing up in a suit. You don't have all the fancy stuff, or I don't think we can use you because you're not day to day. And it's just like, oh, perfectly fine. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. That's, it doesn't work for everybody.
Yep.
So I think
Now, oh, go ahead.
that's a big thing too, learning that you're going to be told no, obviously a lot in this business is part of it. So,
That's an interesting thing, especially as a teacher, right? You're usually the authority.
right.
So I don't know, in your other career, do you get told no very often?
A little more than I'd like to.
Hey, thank
Yeah.
you, kids. They built up your shield,
For
man. I love
for
it.
some reason they don't like running a lot and they say no. Or they don't want to do push-ups or they don't want to play football, they want to play soccer, but it's more like, you talk to them and explain to them why we're doing what we're doing. Everyone likes football and then not everyone likes football, so we got to play multiple sports. We got to learn how to have the basic skills in multiple sports and go from there. So,
Nice. Now, as far as like the day-to-day stuff, you have done a really good job of positioning yourself where that's really not even true, right? You've learned how to have two different full careers. I mean, you sell more real estate than most full-time agents, and you continue to excel in your main focus of a career as an educator, and above and beyond, a family man. Like, you really focus on your
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
How did you do that where you can really still satisfy what it takes to be full-time on the real estate side, even though you're not?
Um, the daily scheduling, daily goals that I set out for myself. Um, I try and get to work an hour early every day, my teaching job. First 30 minutes I'll set up for teaching. The next 30 minutes I'll get my day ready for real estate. So that's my first hour. And then I have classes pretty much till lunchtime. So at lunchtime, I'm on the computer. Depending on what day it is, some days I'll be, just looking at the market. Some days I'll be sending homes to clients. Some days I'll be just doing marketing, in KV Core, checking things out, getting stuff ready. Um, Finish my school day by 2:30, and um, depending on the day again, just jump into real estate or soccer practice
Yeah.
or baseball practice. So it really is just the scheduling and learning how to prioritize your time. Um, there's times in teaching where it's very busy and I don't have time to do real estate that day or
Mhm.
that week or for a couple weeks. So if I'm working with clients at that time, I'll let them know, hey, I'll do real estate. I'm working with you, obviously, but it might not be till this evening when I get home. And
Yeah.
most people, if you're upfront with them and honest, they'll 100% be okay with it. And then there's times where teaching is absolutely slow and real estate's busy, and then I spend more time on real estate. So it's kind of a wave and it fluctuates each and every week, but I'm old school. I like to write everything down, pen and paper. So I have a big monthly calendar on my desk at school, at work, and every day has my schedule on there, and it's something I could visually see every day. And if I don't get to it, I'll make a note, move it to the next day or whatever that might be. But it's very important for me to look at it daily on pen and paper, I guess.
And what's
So
really cool is like now you're starting to grow a team around you of other people in a very similar dynamic. Some of them are
right,
educators or they have another full-time focus, but because you've done such a great job of maintaining both, and I'll even suggest paralleling them in ways that, don't cross any lines on any professional level, but really accentuate your time. Others want to work with you that have another full-time focus because they're like, well, if I'm going to learn from someone how to do both, I should learn from the person who's actually doing it and doing it on a high level, which is awesome, man. And it looks like this is where you'll also be able to start sending opportunities to people when you are just not available
right.
to people who can support you in another, and vice versa. And I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's very I don't I guess humbling to see that, but a lot of my team is dual career. So, and for that reason, like, hey, you've been successful and you seem very calm, not stressed out. It's like something that comes natural. It's something we like. So it it, it is humbling to see people, be attracted to what you've done. So I don't know. I don't like talking about myself, you
Yeah,
know
I get it, man. Kudos to you though,
that.
because there's so many people. Look, like when I started in the real estate business, I was in my early 20s. It was just me. You know, I could jump off the deep end and, that's just it's going to be my discomfort. It's going to be my, ability to handle risk. If I was starting real estate today, I have a family, mortgage, the whole
Yeah,
nine. It's so much more about how it could impact others than it could impact me now.
right.
And, that doesn't mean if you don't start real estate at a as early 20s that you can't start real estate. No, you can, and you can have another full-time career and focus,
Yes,
but
definitely.
you're gonna have to do it differently. And that's where you've carved out a really amazing path for yourself. And talking about that a little bit more, you know, with this focus, with a lot of other things that you have in your life that are top priority, like your family and being a coach for your kids and sports and
Mhm.
whatnot. Obviously, we're extremely honored to work with you here. I certainly am, man. I thank you all the time for
Yeah, no.
coming and being and working with me here in the real estate side. How has this organization, this group, like how have we all supported you? Because it is different than us supporting a full-time agent.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that earlier, but I'm glad you asked. This has been the best move for me. I've been with three other brokerages, just trying to find the right fit throughout the last 8 years, and being here the last 2+ years. It's been amazing. You guys, the whole team that we have, from you to all the other coaches and obviously real estate agents, being able to hop on a text message, ask questions, pick up the phone. Hey, I have this question on a probate, who can I get to that has that knowledge, and just whatever it might be. The whole team we have here is flat out um second to none. It's amazing. It's 100% the best team I've worked with, knowledge wise, training wise. And what works awesome for us dual career agents is having all these different coaches. What do we have? 18, 19,
21, about to
21.
be 23, but
Okay,
yes.
yeah. So even better, and all in their own niche, that have their professionalism, their teachings, their trainings, and all being recorded.
Yes.
I might not be able to hop on that training at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday because I'm teaching a class, but it's recorded and it's posted on our site and easily accessible for all of us. So I can go, oh, I want to see that training on, listing presentations. I'll go click on it and I'll get to watch it. So that to me has been an amazing feature of our team, and just flat out the amount of knowledge that's here is unbelievable. It's crazy.
Well, that's super kind for you to say that, man. Thank you. But I do think that it is important maybe for other dual careered agents out there to recognize this is not a knock on other brokerages on any level.
Right, right.
Every brokerage shines in their light, right?
Yes.
But when a brokerage is virtual and everything is set up in a fashion that allows for people to plug in an asynchronous fashion,
Absolutely.
well, now that opens up opportunities for, you to not have to show up at the office at 10 a.m. for that training,
Right.
right? That won't be recorded, but that it's done in a way that you can engage with that information, that content, that training in a way that works for you. And
Yeah.
there again, it's also easier when it's a virtual based brokerage or at least team dynamic. I'm used to picking up my phone at 7 p.m., 8 o'clock, right? And that might be when you're coming out of practice and you're like, man, this is my first opportunity to
Right.
even think about real estate and I can call somebody about it.
Yep.
And that's where things can be really interesting. And I just want to put that out there for other um, dual career agents. Not to say right, wrong, someone's better than the other, but it's really what's best for the agent. And that might be something for them to think about and consider, maybe even in their own brokerage, how to make things more asynchronous for themselves, whatever that
Yes.
looks like for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a huge point. And yeah, no knock to any other brokerage, because I've been with a couple, like I said, and they've been good and I've enjoyed them. But I always felt personally like I wasn't succeeding as an agent because I wasn't making meetings, that were in the office, or I couldn't do things that were in the office and things like that. So like I said, for this structure we have, the virtual brokerage and everything being virtual and asynchronous is for me, and I think for my team and the dual career agents we have, it's phenomenal. So
Awesome, man. Jason, what would you say has been like your main driver of production? Where are you getting most of your business from?
Brendan family. Yeah. Referrals, friends referring friends, family referring friends. I do some social media stuff.
Hmm.
And I think people see that, like, oh, hey, he is out there marketing himself as an agent. But I think coaching all the teams, being a teacher, and telling my whole staff knows I'm a teacher at work. So I've actually had 2 or 3 deals the past 2 years from teachers' sisters and a teacher's brother, that just referred me that way. So again, just having those conversations, I'm constantly wearing my branding,
Love it.
I have sweatshirts I hand out t-shirts, so I will be at the soccer field and I see someone wearing my shirt and I'm like, oh wow, it's actually cool.
That's
And
super cool. And that's a
yeah,
huge nugget for a lot of people out there. Part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter. Those are little things that you can do that people will appreciate, right? If they like you, they're gonna be like, yeah, I want to support them
yeah.
with my sweater.
Brand yourself.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the bucket to what can happen if you get some business from it. So
So that's where you parallel, right? Your uh, teaching profession. You've integrated the fact that people know that you're in real estate, and you've built relationships and have encouraged referrals from them. So there is that parallel
yeah,
without crossing any lines, of course, right? You're
exactly.
not neglecting the kids during
Right.
PE to do real estate or bouncing out early, but you have found a way where both can still thrive.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, one trick about you, Jason, you said friends and family, and then you mentioned coworkers, but the fact that you look at everyone as friends and family, like you, I know you. You are just a very easy person to get along with, and I think you're a very sincere and caring person. You
Thank you.
genuinely care
Yeah.
about other
No,
people. That's
thank
the
you.
trick. When you see the whole world as someone you would consider to be a friend, things tend to work out that way, which is really neat.
Yeah, and it goes back to that saying, treat people how you want to be treated. That's what everyone says, but it just I look at people, and if I could build a relationship with them and learn something from them or learn something from our relationship, I think that's my main goal. And if it carries on into business or beyond business as a lifetime friendship or something, I don't look at it as anything bad. And if something does go bad or does go wrong, which it can happen in business, you learn from it and you build and work on the next relationship that might encounter something like that. So,
Good point, man.
oh, yeah.
Share for everyone. What are some big goals for you in 2024? What's next for you on the real estate
Oh
side?
man, I think for real estate, my main goal right now is numbers wise, I want to do 6 listings
Okay.
and help 6 people purchase.
Okay.
So 12 transactions this year is my goal. So the one a month, but real estate, everything comes in waves. So
Right.
right now
Right.
I'm working with 4 or 5 clients right now.
Love it,
And it
man.
just, some people are on different time schedules, like some are immediate and some will be, a month or two down the road. So that pipeline situation, but the conversations have started, what are we looking at? Where are rates at? Where can we start looking? Where do we get pre-approved? For my buyers and my listing, what do you think the market's going to be like in the spring? We're thinking of listing May or June. Oh, perfect. You're going to make
Yeah.
some money.
Yeah. And you have more
So,
time, right?
right. Yeah, but that's my numbers goal, 6 listings, 6 purchases this year for transactions. But one of my main goals is getting out on social media more.
Nice.
Marketing real estate, marketing being a dual career agent, kind of, I don't say marketing myself, but just getting out there, doing some more videos, things like that on social media, Instagram, starting a YouTube channel,
Love it,
just to
man.
funnel everything. Yeah. So something I'm kind of afraid of. I'm not good in front of the camera, but um, I want to grow in that area personally. So
I think it's really cool that you're just not afraid to just triple down on who you are. Like, yeah, this is me with dual careers, and I still crush for you on the real estate side. And in fact, there's some benefits to me not having this as my sole income.
Right.
People that are going to appreciate that are going to gravitate towards you. If you were starting over, or if you had some words of advice to give someone who just got their license but they have another full-time career, are they thinking about getting licensed, or someone's going forward into the real estate side but they have a full-time career that they either cannot leave right away or never intend to leave, what are some really like high level tips that you can give them?
I really think you have to trust yourself because you are stepping out of your career, which you're comfortable in, and starting something new while still holding on to the other career and functioning in that day to day. So you have to trust yourself to make new relationships, new conversations, and trust that even if you don't know answers or have answers, you can get them. Um, so trust number one. Number two, I would say partner up with someone that's done it.
Agreed.
um, and learn from them. Learn from someone that's trying to do what you want to do or that has done what you want to do. And just learn from them, watch them, ask them questions, call them on the phone, shoot them a text message, have those, conversations. How do I do this? What can I do to be better in this situation? So, that, and I think just have confidence that you can do it and you will get things done. Self-confidence is lacked in this business, I think, because you're told
Mm.
no a lot and it starts to wear on you like, man, I can't do this. I don't have a client. I haven't had a client in 3 months. I think having the confidence in yourself and your knowledge and things like that will go a long way in this business.
Some good stuff, man, because so many people don't even know where to begin. And I think one of the main ones that you said is like, hey, if you're going to do this in a way that means you move forward in the career that you already have and you still want to thrive in real estate, I get it. There's so many real estate coaches and gurus and the whole nine out there. But if they're really trying to show you how to be successful with 40 plus hours a week that you don't have, it's going to be a lot harder to figure out what you should prioritize. Working with someone like you, where you know what makes sense when you have that much more limited amount of time in terms of curating, what do I do next? What do I do
Right.
first? What's the next thing to do? Where should I focus thereafter? I mean, it's going to really set that blueprint for someone going from one career into the real estate side and actually having success. Anyone out there, I know Jason, he's a really cool, easy, humble guy, and you really want to help other people.
I do. Yes.
Any questions, please connect with this man.
Yeah,
He's super
definitely.
cool and will definitely lead you in the right direction, even if it has no mutual benefit. I know that you
Right.
just want to help.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm excited to see what you do, and not only in 2024, but moving forward. I'm really pumped, and I'm fully vested in
Yes,
the
sir.
growth of your team, because, man, that's exciting to have other people come on in a very similar approach to how they're carving out their professional career with real estate and what they're already doing, and watching you guys just kick tail on the real estate
Yeah,
side, man.
I'm excited about that, man, and I want to thank you personally for being there. Yeah, and having that open phone line because I do call you a lot and pick your brain for everything, but just the support you offer. There'll be sometimes I'll talk to someone on my team and they'll be like, "Oh, I already talked to Joey.
Nice.
I already talked to Joseph about that. I don't need you anymore." So sometimes, I might not answer my phone 'cause I'm at work. They get right to you, and that's what I love about this is you're always available, man, and you honestly and humbly do what you love to do, and that's help everyone. So thank you so much for that.
And I really think like that's the common thread with a lot of us. So I appreciate that. That's a foundational value for you too. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Like that, we
Right.
just got to
It
do this
is.
thing together, and then the other good news is I know you do the same for me in other ways, and
Absolutely.
in the same way, right? I know if I was out and super tied up for whatever reason, and I had a agent who had a question that you could answer, I know you'd pick up that phone in a heartbeat. So
Yep.
cheers to your 2024, my friend, and you're back to work this week. and
Yep.
ready to still go hit those real estate goals.